everyone, Rebecca the Frugal Resinista here, and I'm super excited to show you guys what I am working on today. This is a wooden box that is full of clear resin and also has 7 different cut out layers of paper of different colors in it. And I'm sorry, once I finished it I realized it's almost impossible to film without you seeing my camera and lights and all kinds of things, but I'm going to zoom in a little. And I have cut this out with my Cricut machine, but here's the cool thing. I bought this template from someone on Etsy, and I'm going to actually link you to her store because she has all different kinds of these that are super cool. And what you do is you purchase it from her and it's an immediate download. So I downloaded it and then I put it into my Cricut machine and had my machine cut it, but you can absolutely cut out any of her different designs yourself using a pair of scissors or an X-Acto knife. So if you do not have a Cricut machine, no worries. It will take you longer, but if you have the time, it is totally worth it because how cool is this? So I have, like I said, 7 layers of paper. And if you can see in there, there's a layer of resin in between. I wish I could adequately show you the 3D effect of this, but there's almost a ½ inch of resin total. So all of those layers are separated by resin and it turned out really cool. So we're gonna get started and I'm gonna show you guys how my machine cut it out real quick. And then I will, from there, show you how I assembled all of it. I hope you enjoy. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is fabulous. I am so ridiculously excited about it. The cuts worked perfectly, but like I said, if you don't have a Cricut machine, this will take you a lot longer, but it's gonna look just as beautiful. When you download these, you can also print them out with the cuts drawn on, so you can use an X-Acto knife to cut them. I'm so excited to do the next part. So let me show you. I got a bunch of these at the dollar store, and they were even on sale, so it was 50 cents. You're so glazy. I don't know, but I'm ripping this out. And I just like the frame. Here's the awesome thing. It's already got a hanger. And so with it having the hanger, I don't have to worry about how I'm going to hang this, what I'm going to do with it. But I did measure this ahead of time, and I put the settings in with my Cricut machine because here's what's going to happen. I am going to put all of these into this box. But this is the exciting part about the whole thing. I am going to do one layer and then clear resin, and then the next layer of paper, clear resin, next layer, clear resin. So this is going to all pop out further away from each other. And so I'm going to glue the very first layer down and then pour resin on top, and then I'm going to go ahead and set the second layer down and let it float on top, because if I do clear and then let it sit and cure before I put the next one down, I'm afraid the edges, resin likes to climb up the sides of things, and if that happens, then when I go to lay the next one down, it's going to curve weird. So I'm going to do resin, and then on wet resin, let the next piece of paper float on top, and we'll let them slowly cure one at a time like that. So here we go. Okay, for this very bottom layer that I'm actually going to stick on here, I am just using this Scotch brand spray adhesive. I don't even need to have it stick super well, just well enough that when I pour the resin on top of it, it's not going to float anywhere. So I'm going to turn over here and give this a squirt. And stick it in. And if you'll notice, I bought a few of these little weird boxes because I knew that even though the saying wasn't something I was going to really mess with, I would be able to use the boxes to pour resin in. And so I bought a lot of them, but I set this one on top of another one because with this nice hanging piece here, I can't lay it flat on a table. So I'm just using that, letting it overlap so that that hangs and can lay flat to cure, because I don't want it to cure at an angle. All right, this first one is stuck down, and I'm going to mix just a little bit of resin, barely just enough to cover this whole first layer. None of these old parts will be seen by the time I layer all the pictures. As I do pretty often, I am using Stone Coat Countertops Quick Coat, and this is great. Ooh, I'm not used to the camera being this small and close up here. This is great because it's got about a 45-minute cure time, and since I have so many layers to pour, I'm going to start with this one so I can get a few layers under my belt before it's late and I have to go to bed. Alright, this is all an experiment for me. I've never tried something like this before, so I have no idea if it's going to work. But I'm going to attempt to just lay the next layer right on top and very carefully let it just rest on top. Not going to push too hard, just hard enough to get it to stick so it's flat. And then I'm going to let this cure this way. And I will come back after this is either totally cured or just really sticky. And I'll do the same thing where we do clear and then paper floating on top, clear, floating on top, clear, and we'll just see what happens. Now you'll notice that the resin is going to change the paper to a darker color. I don't know if I'm going to like that or not. You can seal your paper first, and if you're using thin paper especially, you're going to want to do that. I'm using really thick paper, so it's not going to change the color quite as drastically, but it still is going to change it. So we'll see. I don't know if it's going to turn out great or not, hopefully, but just with the way this looks, even without the resin in between, it's going to look so cool that I think with the resin just giving that teeny bit more of a 3D look, this is going to look awesome. So I will catch you guys for the next layer, and then I'll just speed this all up to the end. I am so happy with how this turned out. Again, it's really hard to get a shot without a whole lot of glare, but I'm pretty happy with how smooth the finish came out. So anyway, here's my finished mom and baby bear in their little box. 3D with all the different paper layers and then a resin coat on top. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. Remember, you don't have to have a Cricut machine to do this. You just have to have patience and a little X-Acto knife. And if you guys enjoyed this, please remember to like and subscribe. And I will see you all again soon. Have a good day.